My name is Dr. Susan Namrembe Kavuma. I am a co-PI on this project titled Strengthening the Effective Capacity of We and Care Interventions in Uganda. I am the team lead for the ACODE team on this project. This is a project that has been implemented as a collaborative project between ACODE and Oxfam Uganda.
My name is Peace Immaculate Chandini. I work with Oxfam in Uganda as the Women's Rights Coordinator, and my role at Oxfam is basically to coordinate women's rights and gender justice projects within the department, that is the Gender Justice Department, and also broadly within the country program.
And it is funded by IDRC under the GROW program. The project was intended to strengthening the capacity of we and care work solutions in Uganda. And in particular, it aimed at promoting effective we and care work policy solutions.
The gender issue identified during the training was the multiple roles for women and women leaders, which limit their entry but also success in the public life.
And the second objective was to also build the capacity of gender experts as well as champions to promote effective we and care solutions.
My role was actually to support members or participants in enhancing skilling in gender analysis, gender policy advocacy in their places of work.
We came up with some areas of focus.
And I also did a bit of mentoring for the participants. They had to do some on-job training where they identified an area of advocacy, developed a strategy which I had to work with them in terms of developing and applying that plan.
And lastly, the third objective, it was intended to establish and operationalize the community of practice where gender experts and champions would share experiences and support each other.
The more the men realize that these women are having now income coming in the house, the more they want to exploit these women. They do not want to provide anymore, even the basic needs. So we faced a challenge around them paying back this loan.
Put an argument that when a woman is employed, when she has money, she will not respect me, she will not listen. You get it? And yet that is not the case. And yet they forget that when this woman has money, she will be able to contribute to the family, she will be able to do this and that. So if we engage men in these conversations, have men in these discussions, have men participate in some of these trainings, I think it will help us be able to achieve better heights.
To achieve the three objectives, we implemented a number of activities. For the first objective, which was intended to strengthening effective we and care work policy solutions, we decided to document work, relevant literature, where we searched for qualitative and quantitative data. We had to scan the environment and read about the different we interventions as well as care work interventions. But also we documented qualitative data on gender inequalities so that we can inform different stakeholders of the gender inequalities in Uganda. And as a result, we were able to pick information from the time series data about the survey that was implemented by UBOS in 2018. And we also picked information from the Uganda National Household Surveys, the one of 2016-17 and 2019-20. And we documented infographics which we disseminated to a group of gender experts as well as champions in gender equality space who are drawn from different government institutions as well as non-state actors. And these infographics were also published. Our second objective of strengthening or building the capacity of gender experts. With that objective, we organize training for gender experts from different government MDAs as well as NGOs that are involved in work that is related to gender equality. And so we trained them for a period of 3 days, and then we also mentored them We asked them to apply the knowledge they had acquired from the training. So we mentored them for about 2 months, and they were supposed to apply the work that they had acquired from the training in their work assignment.
NAU was one of the organizations that was trained by ACODE. I myself was part of the training that was focusing on gender analysis and advocacy training. During that workshop, we were able to gather evidence, and out of that evidence, we identified a gender issue that was concerning with inadequate capacities of technical and political officials at local government levels in the aspect of gender and equity budgeting.
And lastly, the community of practice, we established one where we brought together different stakeholders in the gender equality space to share experiences. But relatedly, we also established a help desk where we were able to provide information to different stakeholders on issues related to gender inequality, interventions, and other interventions on unpaid care work.
The cause of this gender issue, as CD, we conducted a baseline survey amongst women that live in these informal settlements, and on women particularly that are conducting small enterprises. These enterprises are based on the verandas of their houses. More or less, some have been in position to attain space within the community, but these businesses range from food stalls, charcoal selling, among other small businesses that women engage in. Many of these women identified that the reason as why they started all these small businesses was that they lacked support from their husbands. The message for change: women have the capacity to support and building a resilient community if their capacities are built in terms of managing their finances.
Nali ngenda muloni naye nga batubanja nnyo nga n'ebintu byaffe babitwala, ennyumba bagitwala, naye kati bwe nafuna pulojekiti eno kati bwe bampola ssente ng'ezo bampa omwezi mulamba nga sirimuzaayo. Nali nsuubula akasawo kamu ak'amatooke, nsobola okusuubula lumonde, nsobola okusuubula mawogo n'obummonde obuzungu, ne nsobola okubeezaawo famire yange. Basooka ne bampa emitwalo 3 n'enziramu ne bampa emitwalo 5. Ssente ezo kati nsobola okusuubuza ku mmere. Ninako abakyala nga 3 nsobola okuwaayo ensawo z'amatooke. Bakati nze omwana wange tebakyamugoba ku ssomero nga luli, naye kati babadde bamugoba n'okutuula n'atuula. Ali n'enzira mu kwegayirira abasomesa, naye kati sikyegayirira. Kati ndi musanyufu era nina essuubi erigamba nti genda kwongerako nsuubule ne ku manda.
Natandika ne mashini eno emu n'enjigula emitwalo 45. Ku CD ssente ze yampa nayongerako emitwalo 12, bayampa emitwalo 33. Nengula mashini ntandika okubanga va mu manda kuba nalingako oyo nga gavumenti egamba amanda gagenda vaawo bagenda gajjawo. Nengamba nkoze ntya okunoonya bizinesi nga si ya pressure. Nengula akooma nembeera nga nsika emberenge zange n'omudaala gw'ennyaanya. Bwe nabisiika ne bimpa enkulaakulana nga making sure nti buli lunaku sobola okutereka omutwalo gumu kitundu nga ngweggyeko nga ngusevingira wesiri.
But also, it is very crucial that we involve the men within these interventions.
ACODE has implemented several projects aimed at empowering women to have their full potential, especially in the area of economic empowerment. We have implemented a project where we have provided seed capital to women, because most women lack collateral, most women lack security, and therefore when they start businesses they lack capital to run their businesses. And so one of the projects we ran that was supported actually by IDRC was to give small seed money to women through their groups. And actually, I'm pleased to say that most of the women that we supported, we saw economic transformation. One of the women was in Mukono, who was packing juice in Kavera. By the end of the project, she was able to transform the packaging and selling now very fresh juice. Another woman was in Soroti, who started on a poultry, started with 20 birds. By the time we concluded the project, she had over 200 chicken. And other women we supported in Imbarara, especially the market women, to capitalize their businesses. So I can testify that women can prosper with small money, but also women are able to help their families improve when actually they improve economically.
We have quite a number of outputs and outcomes. Among them is the infographics. We've published a number of infographics, which we disseminated in a workshop to different stakeholders. But we have also published these infographics in the print media, specifically in newspapers. I remember we published them in the supplement for Women's Day to showcase the gender inequalities in Uganda. But we have also trained 30 participants or gender experts in gender analysis and policy advocacy. And quite a number of them have given us testimonies of how they've used the knowledge they have acquired. And so we are proud that that is an outcome that we are picking from the interventions that we've done. But also we have a forum where we continue to share experiences of the challenges we face as we work on gender equality projects. As we think of economically empowering women, one area that we need to emphasize and address is the unpaid care burden, which can be done at household level, but also at a national level.